In the broadcast that we were watching here in Canada, we could hear the commentators, obviously were very enthusiastic about this match for a variety of reasons, as they were throughout the entire tournament. It was a very entertaining World Championship, and particularly this match, the way it unfolded was rather dramatic. Set it up for us. Break down the match, and we'll get into some of the drama if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. Well, the game plan was to well, he doesn't do like a normal judo. He doesn't grip. If he gets a grip, he goes over at the other side, and he does that both ways. So it didn't really matter which way I go from. He would do the same move.
Right.
So I do lefty. So first I wanted to get my right hand on him, and then get my left hand and try to throw him. And first it was tough to do it because he was like strong and not tired and like aggressive and everything. But I didn't feel like I was going to get thrown by him. The move that he does, if you don't lean forward or go back too far, it doesn't really do much to you. So I just try to keep my posture good and avoid getting thrown. And when he starts to get tired, I was able to get my right hand and start to do my judo. But and he got 2 penalty. And in the golden score, I wasn't that tired yet, and he looked very tired. So
Right.
And the third penalty wasn't coming, so I thought I needed to throw him, and I tried to like go for it. So I kind of like overwent to grab him.
Right.
And then he did his move, so I was going to avoid it again. Then he did this other way. He was always doing it in the front way,
Right.
but the last time he came back ways, and I didn't see that coming, and that's how I got thrown. That was like very smart and great move that he did.
Yeah, he certainly he caught you by surprise there. And it's interesting too, because the way the commentators were setting it up, I don't know if you heard this, but they were comparing your style of judo. They were describing it as, quote, beautiful judo versus his style of judo, which they described as unusual judo, as you mentioned, because of his gripping. But it's interesting because Turoboyev, he's I think he's almost like 2 meters tall, right? He's like 6'6" or something like that, and his reach, his arm, his reach. I don't know if that data is available. I don't think those stats are usually made available on the IGF site. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he has tremendously long arms, right, and legs. Obviously, he's 6'6". He could be a volleyball player, a basketball player. He could be a swinger. But he knows how to use that to his advantage.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts of this description as unusual judo? When you hear that, what does that mean?
Like unusual judo?
Yeah, because they described his style and his approach as unusual judo, whereas yours is definitely more what they describe as beautiful judo. I guess more traditional, right? In that sense. When you hear of unusual judo, what are your thoughts in regards to unusual judo?
Well, there's so many unusual judos in the world, and I think it's a great thing. Like, I think there should be like all kinds of judo, and Like I have this, they call the beautiful judo. I got it in Japan. Well, Japan is they made the judo, so they have this like particular way to train and teach. So I really respect that too, and I also respect all the unusual judo because they needed to think and they needed to train hard to use it, and that's not an easy thing to do. So I think it's a great thing to have all kinds of judo. It's just hard to try to throw people like unusual judo because you have to get used to it. So yeah.
You know what, Kyle, I really appreciate what you're saying there. It's very interesting points, and you know, for fans of the sport and combat sports in general, I think the clash of style when you have, you know, traditional or what's referred as beautiful judo versus unusual judo makes for very entertaining matches like this one, because this match was awesome. You know, I mean, of course there was some controversy, I suppose. I don't know if you know, there was some controversy with you know, the cross grip. He had that for too long, and I believe the commentators were saying that it should be one shido a piece, right, for you and him. And I mean, if you go back and you watch it, you were there, of course, you know, I mean, it was quite an awkward moment that no call was made. And I mean, it's interesting too, because I went online, because, you know, the commentators were very vocal about that. I went online, which is great, by the way. I think it's great to have honest commentators who call things out. I went online and I went to see, I went to find the match, but hear commentary in a different language, and I found it in Spanish. I found the commentary in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, but even there, you could hear that the commentators, I speak French, so it's a Latin language, and you know, I don't speak Spanish, but what I'm saying is you could hear the confusion in regards to, hey, why isn't this a penalty? Well, why isn't it a shido? You know what I'm saying? So it's clear that people were questioning that, commentators and fans, of course, alike were questioning why the shido wasn't called. At the end of the day, it's interesting to note that in your match, you were very calm, you were very composed, you were very professional and very respectful, because it's not like you complained and whined like in other sports, in other combat sports. You see, you know, athletes and competitors complain to the referee. We didn't see any of that from you. You know, you truly respected your art form and your sport of judo. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool to see. In fact, the way the match ended was spectacular, because we see sportsmanship, like the demonstration of a great display of sportsmanship, you know, where he congratulates you, obviously, for your great effort, and he had a great moment in his hometown, in his country. And you know, it takes a lot of maturity and professionalism to do that on your part, because I think people could have complained, they could have protested it. You know what I'm saying? But you were very respectful, and I think that's very honorable. I think that's what the sport of judo loves to see.